You are underground. There is no light here. There is barely any air. Your lungs are burning. Your heart should be racing. But it isn't. You are a naked mole rat, and you have just done something that would kill almost any other mammal on Earth. You have stopped breathing oxygen the normal way. And you are still alive. For most animals, 18 minutes without enough oxygen means brain damage, then death. For you, it means almost nothing. Your body simply switches fuel sources and keeps going. How does a creature the size of a hot dog pull off something human medicine still can't fully explain? Let's go back to where this story really starts. Naked mole rats live in the dry grasslands of East Africa, in underground tunnel systems that can stretch for miles. These tunnels are sealed off, packed with dozens of bodies, and almost completely starved of fresh air. Oxygen levels underground can drop to a fraction of what you'd find at the surface. Carbon dioxide, the gas your body normally works hard to expel, builds up instead. Any ordinary mammal placed in that environment would lose consciousness within minutes. You do not. Biologist Thomas Park, at the University of Illinois at Chicago, has spent years exposing naked mole rats to extremely low oxygen conditions in controlled lab studies. And what he found reshaped how scientists think about mammalian survival. Under near total oxygen deprivation, a state scientists call anoxia, most mammal brains suffer catastrophic damage within minutes. Naked mole rats survive total oxygen deprivation for up to 18 minutes with no lasting harm. Their secret is a molecule most mammals only use before birth, fructose. Instead of relying on glucose, the sugar your body burns using oxygen, naked mole rats can switch their brain and heart cells to run on fructose, extracting energy through a pathway that skips oxygen almost entirely. It's the same trick a human fetus uses in the womb, where oxygen is limited and fructose is abundant in the placenta. Naked mole rats simply never stopped using it. Think about what that means. You are an adult mammal running part of your body the way a human embryo does, permanently. But surviving without air is only one piece of a much stranger puzzle. You don't live alone down here. You live in a colony of up to 200 individuals, and that colony doesn't function like a normal group of rodents. It functions like a beehive. Zoologist Jennifer Jarvis first documented this in 1981, and it stunned the scientific world. Naked mole rats are what biologists call eusocial, meaning they organize their entire society around a single breeding female, called the queen, while nearly every other member of the colony never reproduces at all. Before Jarvis's work, eusociality was something scientists associated almost exclusively with insects, ants, termites, bees. A mammal behaving this way seemed almost impossible. Yet here you are, an underground rodent following a caste system, with workers digging tunnels, soldiers defending against predators like snakes, and the queen physically suppressing the reproductive systems of every other female in the colony through hormones and behavior alone. Why would evolution build a mammal to live like an insect? The answer lies in that same brutal environment that forced you to master anoxia in the first place. Underground life in dry, resource-poor soil is expensive. Digging tunnels burns enormous energy for very little food. A study on cooperative burrowing found that a single mole rat digging alone would starve long before finding enough food to survive. But a colony working together, sharing the labor of tunneling and foraging, can survive on far less per individual. Cooperation isn't a nice bonus here. It's the only reason this species exists at all. So picture a single day in your underground world. You wake in a nest chamber packed shoulder to shoulder with your colony, sharing body heat, because you can barely regulate your own temperature. This is another oddity. Naked mole rats are what scientists call poikilothermic, meaning your body temperature shifts with your surroundings rather than staying fixed like a typical mammal's. You are, in a sense, cold-blooded, wrapped in warm-blooded skin. You leave the nest and join a chain of workers digging through packed earth, using two enormous front teeth that operate independently of your jaw, almost like chopsticks, so you can dig without swallowing dirt. Every few minutes, the tunnel shrinks further, oxygen thins, and your fructose-powered cells quietly take over so your brain doesn't miss a beat. You pass a soldier posted near a possible entry point, watching for snakes that occasionally break into the colony. Somewhere deeper in, the queen rests, the only individual permitted to reproduce, chemically keeping the rest of the colony in their roles. Here is the twist that changes how you should think about all of this. You'd expect a creature built for such a hostile, oxygen-starved existence to have a short, brutal life. The opposite is true. Naked mole rats can live over 30 years, roughly 10 times longer than a mouse of similar size. Biologist Rochelle Buffenstein, who has studied naked mole rat aging for decades, found something even stranger. Their risk of death does not increase with age the way it does in virtually every other mammal, including you. A 25-year-old naked mole rat has roughly the same odds of dying in the next year as a 2-year-old one. They also show almost no cases of cancer in the wild, a trait researchers are studying closely, because if they can figure out how naked mole rat cells resist tumors, it could reshape human cancer research. So the same biology that lets you survive without oxygen for 18 minutes may also be quietly protecting you from the two things that kill most mammals eventually, aging and cancer. That's the reframe. The naked mole rat isn't some evolutionary oddity stuck underground because it couldn't do better. It's a mammal that solved problems most species never even attempt to solve, running its body on a fetal fuel source, organizing like an insect colony, and aging almost like it isn't aging at all. And there's something in that worth sitting with. You spend your life assuming the rules of biology are fixed, that oxygen is non-negotiable, that aging always accelerates, that mammals live one way. Then a hairless, nearly blind rodent living in the dark beneath the African savanna quietly breaks every one of those assumptions, and keeps digging anyway. You are underground. There is no light here. There is barely any air. And somehow, that has never been the problem.